And look, Rich, people shouldn't misunderstand me. I do not think that history teaches simple lessons like you ought to be a moderate or you ought to be a radical. It depends. So I'll give you another example. Later on in the 1820s, when the slave trade was already abolished, but slavery not, you had two groups in the movement. You had the so-called gradualists. Those were people like Wilberforce that I mentioned and Clarkson. They were already quite old by then. And they were like, yeah, we're going to gradually phase out slavery. But it wasn't happening. The West Indian lobby was stalling. It was just going way, way too slow. And then a new generation of younger activists, mainly women, people like Elizabeth Hayrick, were like, you know what? We're tired of what they called the slumber of the daddies. I think this is an interesting thing that often happens in these movements, is that you have a new generation that gets pretty angry at the older generation, and the older generation, feelings are really hurt. But sometimes it's exactly what we need. And indeed, they started calling for what they called immediatism, like we want to abolish slavery right now. The moment is right now. And especially once some big revolts broke out on Jamaica, for example, in the early 1830s, I mean, that was the moment. And I think at that time, that was the correct political analysis. It's like, we shouldn't wait anymore. We should get a strike when the iron of history is hot. So let's go. So there are no simple pragmatic lessons here, like do this or do that. It really depends on the circumstances. But there's one overarching lesson that's always true is be laser focused on actually achieving the results.